Good morning, hockey fans. This is Steven Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victoria's Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. This camera is widget tummy. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. Today is Tuesday, July 25th. Of course, you can find this show on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. That's WSBN.TV for those who are taking notes at home. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hope that you're enjoying your midweek. This will be the last Tuesday in the month of July. We are going into the chaotic month of August. Today's topic is, if I were king, oh boy, this would be a doozy. Sure, I'll be in trouble again. When I'm done with this, my buddy at USA Hockey will call and complain. A couple of NHL owners will call and complain. Maybe even a commissioner. Glenn Heffern's not going to call and complain. Not generally. He's not really a part of this. I should be okay. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. I want to deregulate junior hockey. You have been taking a lot of shots at USA Hockey lately. A district staffer recently complained. Maybe so. If USA Hockey spent a little more time on enforcing standards instead of trying to hide them, try to find the USA Hockey standards for Tier 1 and Tier 2. You might find Tier 1 on the USHL webpage. Tier 2 standards were on the NAHL webpage for many years. Now they're gone, as are Tier 3 standards gone. If people would maintain standards instead of trying to hide them, I would have less to talk about and less to complain about. Let's be honest. Right now, because of the different sanctioned, non-sanctioned factions of junior hockey, we have a disciplinary problem because consequences don't carry much weight. You get in trouble on the USA Hockey side of the fence. I got a 10-game suspension. Forget that. I'm just going to go to the other non-sanctioned league. Got a few options to go to. I can go play in Boston. I can go play in Colorado. No worries. The problem is these bans don't carry over from one side to the other. So basically suspensions now mean nothing. Add that problem to a growing list of concerns regarding the divide between sanctioned and non-sanctioned hockey. Players going back and forth. Now teams are writing exit clauses into their agreements. Hey, if you leave, before we tell you that you can, you owe us $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever that number is going to be. These are amateur hockey players. Good luck collecting on that. So how do we as a sport address the issue that divides the game? Simple. Very simple. Deregulation of the level of play and eliminating the junior council would be a great first step. That won't be popular. It's okay. The reality is that the market can address shortcomings more effectively than whatever USA Hockey and the non-sanctioned leagues can do. And that's where we are. The market is starting to correct itself. The BCHL doing their thing is a major market corrector. The NCDC growing out in the West is a major market corrector. Right now, the USA Hockey's rights and responsibility document that we spent so much time on before is now worth a little more than the paper it's written on. We had a problem a couple of years ago with the owner of the Mid-City Stars in the 3HL who literally said, USA Hockey can't tell me how to run my business. Doesn't matter what was said in the rights responsibility document. That was irrelevant. He didn't care what USA Hockey had to say about it. And he's not the only one. Nate Keel, Kenai River Brown Bears, charging $900 this year to play on the team for a jersey that cost him $40. They're now charging $200 for it. Maybe it cost him $100 after all the lettering and all that stuff, but doubling your price so you can make some money off the kids, stupid. An activity fee, a team equipment fee, all these things that are supposed to be provided by the team are now being paid for by the players. Why? Because no one's enforcing standards. The failures are so numerous that it's become little more than a joke. Deregulation and limiting USA Hockey to more of an administrative role, protected list, international transfers, insurance, being a supplemental insurance provider would remove the necessity for leagues to operate outside of USA Hockey's jurisdiction. Look, if USA Hockey limited themselves to those roles, they would have probably 100% inclusion. Here's the problem. The North American Hockey League's Mark Frankenfeld should not have any influence over expansion of leagues or relocation into new markets. But that's the problem. He would oppose expansion of the Eastern Hockey League, of the USPHL when they were named something else. He would oppose anything that he thought might have infringed upon what he considered the 3HL's territory or the NAHL's territory. He has no right doing that. But he did. If there was a group in Minnesota that wants to put a team into the Manitoba Junior Hockey League, it's frankly none of Frankenfeld's business. The problem is that USA Hockey has allowed the USHL and NAHL to establish a monopoly at the Tier 1 and Tier 2 levels of play. And nobody cares about that anymore. Tier 1, Tier 2, Junior A, Junior B, Tier 45, it's all irrelevant. But the bottom line is USA Hockey's refusal to enforce standards has resulted in a complete devaluation of these teams. Frankenfeld allowing Nate Keel and others to make a mockery of the situation has devalued every team in the league. And that's why new groups should be free to form under USA Hockey without interference of the North American Hockey League or USHL. The current, or now 6 U.S.-based teams of the Western Hockey League, if they wanted to break away and do a Pacific Hockey League, they should be allowed to do so. It doesn't impact, they don't care about being called Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 25. It's irrelevant to them. Everybody knows who those guys are. The colleges are going to know. Everybody's going to know. Label it any way you want to. Nobody cares anymore. The label days are over. USA Hockey's given Tier 1 designation to the USPHL, Tier 2 to the NAHL. I know that the NCDC guys like to call themselves Tier 2 because they want to be compared to the North American Hockey League. Yeah. Play for it. Let's get back on the ice. Let's end the charade. Let's play for a championship again. You know what? Why not put the USHL against the Memorial Cup winner for a Continental Cup at the end of the season? Let them play 3 games, neutral site. Let's have it out. NAHL, why not do the same thing? Why not play against the NCDC championship team? Let's have a tournament again. Let's bring 4 teams into one location and just play for it the old-fashioned way. Instead of talking about who's better, who's worse, and all this baloney, just play for a championship. We need that in the game. We need that excitement. We need that clarity. When all the country's domestic junior hockey leagues are operating under the same sanctioning umbrella, disciplinary measures will carry more weight, and we get to have actual championship hockey again. So what can we do to unify the level of play? The most important action is to demand that families get exactly what they're paying for. Across the board. Whatever league that you're in, the league wants to set the rules. Here are the standards for the USPHL. Here are the standards for the Eastern Hockey League. Here are the standards for the North American Hockey League. Display them. Put them on your webpage. Tell families exactly what they're playing for or what they're paying for. There needs to be a document that grants automatic free agency along with the release of financial responsibility in the event the team fails to maintain their end of the deal. Problem right now is too many contracts don't even say what their end of the deal is. The only thing that really matters is the parents are paying, that's it. Nothing else is guaranteed. There is no other end of the deal. Hey, you get to say that we own your rights and you can't play anywhere else unless you pay us. Unfortunately, that's a very common situation right now within the pay-to-pay structure. Teams that are unwilling to sign such a document should be eliminated from consideration. Parents, you don't have to sign a document that they give you as the only thing you can say. You are free to write your own addendum and add it to a document and say, listen, team, I'm okay with these things, but you must provide X, Y, and Z before you get any of my money. Pretty simple. Most teams, the reputable ones, will be okay with that. If a guy says, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not guaranteeing you anything, then don't go play there. Your wallet is your vote. Doing so puts the power back in your hands. We've seen enough and feel that participants do have the power to overcome the ridiculousness of one-sided player agreements, ineffective tier standards, and teams' continued failure to live up to their end of the deal. So let's fix the problem. It's about time. That's it for today. Enjoy your morning coffee.